Hey everyone. I've been a bit sick for a little bit, so obviously the oxygen cannula. Um, right now I'm just reading some papers and getting some stuff done for the next, we'll say about 2 hours. And I thought I might as well just go live and have a chit chat while I do so. Anyway, hope you have a good day. I'll mostly be quiet, but I will, of course, have chat up and be happy to interact. All right, I need to get, I have one of those Whoop fitness bands, and I thought I charged the the little charging block last night, but evidently I did not. So it only charged the Whoop a little bit, but oop, get this going and then get on to reading. Maybe. There we go. All right. So while I have this going, I'm going to be using um, Chat GPT Web, which is a very lovely. Oh, look, I can share my screen on here. See, this shows you how much I don't know how this software works. So I think theoretically I can share this. Let's see if this works. Oh, look, this works. So, ChatGPT Web is a basically it's a web interface, sort of like you have with normal ChatGPT. However, in this case, it uses the OpenAI API, which in my case ends up being a heck of a lot cheaper than some sort of premium plan with ChatGPT. And eventually, my goal is to sort of work up the ChatGPT or OpenAI, payment tiers to eventually get to where I can use some of the newer models, I believe, which are called, let's see, trying to run multiple tabs. I believe I want to say these are called O1. Yeah, so the new O1 models are really interesting um, because they have um, they're they take longer to answer your question, right? It's like most of the time when I've used it, the few times I've used it, it's like around 15 seconds and sometimes more per input. But at the same time, you're getting a lot of good um, the latency is not necessarily an issue because it's spending more time thinking. And in fact, it's not just spending more time thinking when you're using it. And I need to figure out a safe way to do it without like doxing myself. Otherwise, I would just show it right now. But it basically, while it's processing your input, shows you how it's thinking through the input and generating the answer. So, like if I ask it, um, can you describe to me the upsides and downsides of buying a new car? Um, it would say something along the lines of probably, while it's thinking of like analyzing latest car models, um, factoring in budget, factoring in future repair costs and maintenance and gas and, you know, um, blah, blah, blah. So basically, it's really good because it not only gives you an idea of how it's thinking, but again, it spends longer doing it. So usually its answers are more well refined. It's not, um, so you sort of get that trade off of increased, latency, um, but at the same time, a better result in the end. And so, anyway, that was a bit of a tangent. But what ChatGPT Web does, and they have this GitHub IO site that you can use, which I use. I'm thinking about cloning the repo and running it sort of on my own thing. But for now, I use this, and basically, you feed it, your API key, um, and it's capable of using that. And anyway, I just prefer that because it's more contained and more, it's a heck of a lot cheaper than my uh, OpenAI Teams plan that I also have. Um, so I'm debating canceling that and just using this in the future. But the one downside is it doesn't have, as much of the software built out, right? So it doesn't have, um, a lot of the conversational features where you can just verbally talk to it, and that kind of thing. So there is some upside to using the regular, ChatGPT. Um, anyway, it says it has voice input. Again, I haven't managed to get it to work. But also again, I haven't like set up the whole thing, and I'm just sort of using a pre-built version. Um, and you can use it through Docker or however you desire. But yeah, it's a really fantastic tool. All right. So now that I've went on a little tangent of what I'm using while I'm reading, let me figure out how to I think if I just stop sharing. There we go. Okay. So then I'll pull this up. Um, let's see. And so what I wanted to ask is I'm reading a new preprint. They mentioned this, I guess it's a protein called, can you tell me what you know about PIEZ01? And so the other upshot of this is that, it already knows that I'm a PhD student studying genetics, so it has sort of what level I like to read at. Um, and so it says here PIEZ01, Piezo1 is a gene that encodes a mechanosensitive ion channel protein, also called Piezo1, used as a sensor. Um, sensitive to pressure or stretch, allowing ions like calcium to pass into cells. Um, so the paper I'm reading on is about pulmonary vein stenosis, and so it does mention here that it has been studied in various cardiovascular and respiratory diseases. Oh, that was the other upshot. So the new O1, this model I'm using here is the 4.0 because I don't have access to O1 yet. But, but O1 also gives competent citations um, to, when you ask for them. So it doesn't, it tends not to hallucinate those. Um, so that's always good. So anyway, I'm gonna keep reading, but again, feel free to put things in the chat, and I will most certainly read them. And I realize that the camera is bouncing up and down a little bit. The desk I have it on, well, the desk I have it on is pretty stable, but the monitor I have it on has a tendency to wiggle a little bit, so I apologize about that. Hmm. Every once in a while, you might see me get this little guy out, which is my pulse ox to check how my oxygen's doing. Which I try to remember to do every like 15 minutes or so. So right now my oxygen level is sitting around 92, which is pretty good for me. Most other people not be very good. You would be taken directly to the ER, and that would be that. But yeah, for me, on oxygen, I've been doing pretty good, sitting around 92. I won't take off my cannula on the stream, but you know, off oxygen, I drop. It, you know, sort of fairly stably to 88, which again, I feel. I mean, I feel tired and worn out and that kind of thing, but not necessarily any sort of critical danger. But lately it's been dropping below that, so that's why we're tending to use the oxygen, keeps the cannula on, all those kinds of things. Um, so yeah, it has been interesting to since normally I walk around without oxygen. Um, it's been interesting lately to do that. And most people are fairly good about it and seem to not really care, or if they do care, genuinely care about my health. So it's been really nice to have that. Mhm. Yeah, yeah, and I'm also pretty good at distracting myself on my phone when I'm supposed to. So Um, just one of those skills that I continuously need to work on. Normally at work, it goes into whatever Apple calls it, what is that called? The focus. And so normally it goes into like a work focus. Obviously when I'm at home, it doesn't do that. So it's hard to, I guess, let me see. I guess I could, if I say work focus. Yeah, well, theoretically that should work. I do like this. This is, sometimes the methods section can get a wee bit overly detailed. Um, let's see. Hold on, I'm trying to see if I can. No. So this paper, they're doing an RNA extraction. They did the triazole, the chloroform, yada yada yada. Then they say the cap of the conical tube was secured. And the solution was thoroughly mixed while manually shaking. And manual shaking part is fine, but I would hope that you would put the cap conical tube before you start shaking it. Which, to be fair, I think at one point I did have a high school student who didn't do that. So um, I think everyone on here, what is everyone? They're all MDs and PhDs. Yeah. So let's what the acknowledgement say. No, just financial support. Yeah. So I think you can remember to put a cap on something. Don't necessarily need the methods. Although to be fair, I've also seen some journals so picky about how detailed their method section needs to be. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I don't think it's because you're gonna forget to put the cap on. I think it's probably because some journal was like, you need to have every detail, um, even if it's the most obvious thing in the world. Okay. For analysis, they used R, Excel, and Stata. And I've used all three of those in my career. I'm just not a fan of Stata. I mean, maybe it's because I'm a programmer. And so tools, applications, I don't know, I just always tend to feel less confident in than something that I know I've written myself. I mean, obviously, if you're doing certain statistics, use the library. Um, but yeah. It says there's a table. This is a preprint, so I've seen a few things where it's obviously they're editing it. I don't, however, yeah, see the list of, oh, here's the table. Let's see. Hmm. So it's a new, very complicated. Let me see. Let me see if this is a common thing. Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. I've never heard of, I guess it's pronounced Vacterl, Vacterl before. Vertebral defects, anal atresia, cardiac defects, tracheus, tracheo, esophageal fistula, renal anomalies, and limb abnormalities. And ChatGPT says it's basically, it's rare, but it's a cluster of these um, things. And so in these patients who all had pulmonary vein stenosis of some kind, in addition to the pulmonary vein stenosis, a couple of these people had vectoral. Um, Interesting. Okay, sorry. Let's see. to mention that another downside of the Chat GPT web, although don't think it would be that hard to implement, um, is especially because the API allows it is that you can't upload files and stuff, and so sometimes I'd like to be like, here's this paper, let's talk about it, because I tend to like to use it for things like a Socratic method and just making sure I get all the points of what I'm reading. Um, so yes, it doesn't do file uploads at the moment. Although I swear I saw someone was either had an issue open or a pull request or something. Because like I said, the API supports it, so there's no reason why it shouldn't. Sorry, I just saw the what do you even call that? You know how the Windows start menu has, the search thing, and then it has usually like a little picture of something. It had a picture of a squirrel. If you hover over it, it says it's Squirrel Awareness Month. So, just for the record, it's Squirrel Awareness Month. All right, so I've read that paper. I have a paper I need to read for Journal Club. How long have we been going here? 45 minutes? Okay. I swear I printed it out. This? Nope. Might need to reprint it. Yeah, I don't see it. Okay. Look. So I'm doing that. Hope again that everyone's having a fantastic day. Mine is slowly improving as the day goes on. This morning I was just really out of it, really tired. But now we're doing pretty good. So see. Okay. Let's find the Journal Club article, which I think was last week. I swear I printed this out already, but or no, I know what it was. I tried to print it out, and I've on my Linux set up at the office. boot up the printer driver or something. It used to work. No, it doesn't, and I haven't had the energy to figure out why. Of course, it's going to complain that I have no paper in there, which is valid. Valid complaint. Printers need paper. Let's see if I can get some out. And let's see, should have a good hour or so. I'm probably going to end this stream. What time? I have a meeting at 4. So if it's 3 o'clock now, let's say like 3:30. Like, let's not go for forever. Okay. printer, so it needed new ink. Seems to be printing just fine though. So, unsure, I'm just gonna wait till it finishes and then get back to focusing. Yeah, it's fine. How many figures does this paper have? I feel like every time I looked at the printer, it's figures. And to be fair, it's Cell, so it's a. If you don't know the Cell journal, they have a bit of a reputation for, you know, each figure. I mean, I'm literally looking at one now that has A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. So they have a tendency to have, you know, whole page figures that have 20 parts. We're getting there, I think. Well, we're on the results. This looks like the title page. Maybe. That hurts. Okay. all this together. And keep going. So, let's see. Let's see. My loop off the charger, but now I need my phone to be charged. Which I will say, my local library did a summer reading program for adults this last summer. And anyway, as part of it, you got this really cute little tote bag. But in addition, you got, I don't know what you call it. It's like they called it a squid, is what they called it. But it's basically it's a USB-A on one end. And then the other end has, let's see, Lightning, USB-C, what else is there? Lightning, USB-C, and I think that's called micro USB. Let me double check that. Yeah, micro USB. So it's pretty nifty. the stream. Someone's giving me a phone call. Talk to y'all later. Bye bye.